Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to walk through how to set up a contribution page so that you can collect donations online using PowerBase. So to get started, we're going to go to the menu and click on Contributions, New Contribution Page. And here you'll see it'll step you through. I'm going to start with the title, and this is going to be a title. This could be the internal title, or could be the title that you want to show everybody. So I'm going to use this title. Capitalism is collapsing, so donate now. It's something I've already thought about. If it was going to be a different title that you wanted to show publicly, you could type that in here. So now I'm going to set up the actual financial type for this page, and this is going to be a donation page. And then I want to link this to a campaign. Now, campaigns are similar to source codes, so you know what the donation was for. And maybe there's other things I'm doing in this campaign. I'm doing phone calling, I may be doing mailings. So I'm going to attribute this page to our Capitalism is Collapsing campaign. Now, there's a couple things you can do. If you are an organization that actually is accepting donations from other organizations and you want to make sure that organization gets credited for it, even though an individual may be using their credit card, you can turn this on and notice then you can choose the profile, and there is on behalf of organization. We set up this profile for you. Again, you can use different profiles, but you can see there's some information there we ask for. So that you can have that information in your database, and you can make some of these, you can unrestrict some of these in the profile itself. And then you can, so again, you can select that on behalf and again, on the behalf label. And I would suggest making it optional, and you would say something like, I'm donating on behalf of my organization. And that would be your label if that's what you wanted. Okay, so that's a suggestion if you plan on using the organizational, if you're allowing folks to do that, to donate. So I'm going to uncheck this for this purposes, but I wanted to show you that. And now I'm going to show you, here's the message area. So this is actually like the page, a landing page for the contribution page. So here's, you can make it pretty, you can add a picture. So just to demonstrate that, just like anywhere else, I'm just going to grab something on the server. And again, I totally suggest, and this is because of being mobile responsive, and a lot of folks are opening things on their phone, I suggest like a width of 500 or less. And I'll click on the left side. I'll just make everything left justified, since on your phone, everything pretty much runs down one column, ideally. And I'm going to click OK. So it pops the actual picture in, and my cursor you see is over here. So I'm just going to clicking enter to move the cursor down, and then you can type some text. Notice that I'm just copying some text here, but you have access to the formatting here, fonts, headings, so feel free, have at it. So I'm going to just add a couple of spaces, and again, you may have to look and see what it looks like as you're testing the page. So now here at the bottom here, you can see there's a goal amount. Now, if you plan on putting a widget, it's always nice to put a little you can click on these question marks and you can see that there's widgets that you can have if you want to have a goal amount. I'm going to keep mine simple and not do that. We'll demonstrate how to use widgets in another video. So I'm going to actually start this page a little earlier for testing purposes. You can start it whenever you want. It's just like, when is it live? When does it close? I'm just going to keep it open here. There's an honorary section if you want to enable that. And again, this is like in honor of, in memory of, and notice there is also another, there are other types of profiles, but you could use the honoree individual, and you can see we've also preset this up. And that's to collect the name. And now down here, I'm going to totally strongly suggest you uncheck using a confirmation page. The reason is that when a person is looking at the page, they click at the landing page, that first page where they're reading about it, selecting things, they click at the bottom, but they haven't really submitted the contribution, they are yet set to another page. And usually what happens is we have some folks that walk away, don't click on that. They think they submitted it. So this is to just reduce confusion. So I uncheck that. I'm going to make it live. Now you can see there is a footer region here with social media stuff if you want to add that. I'm going to leave that off for now. Let's go to continue. And now you'll see there's going to be several things, tabs. For a simple donation page, basically you just need your title, your amounts, a receipt, and the profiles. Profiles are a way to, again, is that information you want to collect. So let's continue. I'm going to go to amounts. Now, anytime you touch a page or touch a tab and you make a change to it, you make sure you click save before you go to the next tab, or you will lose the information you just entered. So I'm on the amounts, and this is where we want to enter what are those different amounts I may want to ask folks to donate. So in this one, things are already checked on from real-time monetary transactions. That should be on. Currency, you choose your currency. We're using US dollars. If you have a payment processor, turn that on. If you want to offer a pay later option, some folks do that. And what it does, then you can see that you can enter, I will send payment by check. It gives them a choice to either quickly do something, send their credit card, or they can choose to send payment by check. What happens if they submit through this form and they pay by check? You'll see their donation come in as pending, with the pending status. So, and then when you get the check, you would just turn that pending status to completed. So again, you put that, if you wanted that, you would add that with the pay later. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm just going to have it all I want, we get the money more immediately with the credit card, so we'll stick with the payment processor. And now you can see that we start taking a look at price sets. So price sets is more complex price sets. Again, that will be in another video. Price sets are used also like for events, so very similar. But I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to also set up this page to allow for monthly donations. Notice you can have different recurring units, but I'll just keep them monthly, so it allows them to do that. So now you want to enter, what do you want your label to say? I'm going to say donation amount, just so folks are sort of clear that this is for donations. So donation amount. You can allow other amounts. So I can say, you can just leave it here and say, and keep it open and say, I'm going to allow them to choose. Strongly suggest putting a minimum of $5, maybe 10 if you can handle that. Again, just because there are those bots that try to, they steal credit cards and try to put $1, $2, $3 amounts to test the credit card. This prevents that, prevents most of it. So if you put a minimum of 5, it's helpful. So just a tip. So again, you can leave it there and then click save, and that just lets you have an open amount for that they can enter what they want. But I'm going to also offer other amounts that they can contribute and make it clickable. So I'm going to just put things like, I could put the amounts here. I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to just have 3 amounts. And I'm going to I'm going to choose the 25 to default. You don't need to default anything. You can let them choose, but sometimes I like it easier. It's already something that's clicked on. You can leave it this way. Otherwise, you can also add a label to it. And sometimes I like to put something super awesome. Your friends. You can make this fun. And you're my best bud. Whatever. Make it fun. It's a donation. You can make fundraising can be fun. So remember, save what you've done on that page. You just need to make sure you hit those required elements. And then I'm going to make sure I set up a receipt. And a receipt is just like, so the PowerBase will send a receipt, an automated receipt with the amount of the donation. If you have a payment processor also attached to the contribution page, the payment processor will also send a receipt. This page here is just like what additional message you want to add onto that receipt. Okay, so first I'm going to have a thank you landing page, right? So I'm just going to say thank you for donating. So after they click submit, they get a thank you page, an online page that they can see. And if I want to email the receipt, which is a good thing to do, I'm going to check that on, and here, who do you want to send it from? And I'm just going to use our PTP email. And then you can write the message that you want, whatever you want in there. You can have CCBCCs. And then again, I'm going to hit save. So that sets up the receipt. And then there's really one last thing you need to do to get this page live. I mean, you could leave it there. If you don't include a profile is the information you want to collect and save in your database. If you don't add the profile, the default, what PowerBase does is it will only collect the email address, right? So an email address is required with the contribution page. So it will only collect that, and then you won't have a name. So I strongly suggest that you have a profile. And in PowerBase, we do set one up already for you. It's called donor name and address. And if you take a look at that, you can see that we default all of these pieces here. And you can go ahead and just keep this profile, or you can change the profile and add more things. You can include a different profile if you want to also add some questions, if you like. Otherwise, I'm going to hit, I'm going to keep this, right? So there's the donor name and address, and I'm going to hit save. So let's take a look. All right, so I did that. So I just want to make sure I hit the pieces I did, and I'm going to go back to the amounts. And I always review because there's so many little pieces, so many little check boxes that could happen here. So I like to make sure that I got all that. I got the receipt, right? And I got the profile. All right, so I'm done with setting that up. So let's take a look at the page. I'm going to click Save and Done. So, of course, on that page, if you go to Contributions and Manage Contributions now, let's say you stepped away for a bit, I'm going to go to Contributions, Manage Contributions. I can get back to the page that I was working on. And there it is. Capitalism is collapsing, so donate now. If you click here, this is the configuration area if you need to go back. Otherwise, the link to the public page is here. So PowerBase creates the link for you for the live page. Now, it's nicer to take a look at what the page looks like when you're not logged in. So I'm going to actually grab this link. I'm just going to copy this link. And I'm going to open it in a private window, in another window, private browser. And so I'm going to open that up because this way that I'm ensured I'm not logged in, right? So if I'm not logged in, that's basically what other folks are doing. Donors are donating. They're not in your database. So I'm going to copy this so I can take a look at what it looks like. Best way to test it, right? So there it is. Capitalism is collapsing. It's like, oh, I need to fix that. See how this is where you always have to test. I'm just going to go back to my page, and I'm just going to do a quick fix on that. I'm just going to add a couple more. And this is where, again, you need to go back and forth. And so I'm going to just add a couple more spaces to this. I'm going to add a couple just to move that down a little. So I'm going to grab it there, a couple spaces. I'm going to hit save and done. And I can go switch back to my live page, and I'm going to refresh. And now you can see here it's moved down. So there it is. And here you can test it, right? Because I'm not on. I'm going to test it. I'm going to, let's just say I'm going to have the 25. Notice there's the other amount. You can have, this is what happens if they want to contribute every month. I'm going to put, I'm just testing here with a fake email. And I'm going to not use this on or of, and I had turned it on the configuration page. I may turn that off later, but you could see if I want to do that, I can now enter who I am, doing this donation memory of. But I'm going to keep I'm going to keep on with the test here, and I'm just going to put in some fake stuff. So give me a second, and because I want to test this page, right? So I'm going to go and put in some info. 190, Austin, Texas, 78703. And now here's a credit card. Now, depending on your, you can put a live credit card in if you want. I'm going to use a test credit card. And since we're using Stripe, there's a test credit card number that you can use. And it's on their site. It's on the Stripe site, tells you what numbers to use. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so it's this 4 sets of this 4242. So I just check it. And you just make your security code. Again, this is just a test. It's not going to charge anything. And notice here, because I did that profile, it automatically fills in all of this information, all right, because I entered it once. That's why I like to also use profile, and I'm going to hit contribute. So this is what they'll see. And it's going to go through, it'll process and see there's the thank you landing page, and this is what they'll see. Now, if I had a real email, I would also get the email of the receipt. But since this is fake, so I'm going to go back now to the page, and I'm back in the database, and I can go and look and see if Alice test came in. So there is an Alice test. Let's see if that donation went in. There's a contribution. And there it is. So see, there's the source. You could see that it comes in from that online contribution page, which is great. And the donation, and then you know it came in. And that's how you create an online contribution page in PowerBase.